Hello, Anthony here, and I'm here to teach you about Little Drop of Poison. This is the second edition, and you can see it now has Antidotes, which is a little mini expansion that was previously only available to Kickstarter backers, but in the new edition, it's in all games. So I'm not going to really go over the antidotes. They add a little bit extra to the game, but I'm just going to basically explain how the basic game setup works. In this game, this is a really fun, I want to say like diplomacy style game for 3 to 8 players. In the game, you are either going to be a rat or a weasel. And the premise is that everybody that's playing the game is a peasant who is obviously living a hard Scrabble life, because that's what peasants do. And you are trying to poison your fellow players, or poison the king that is in play using the poison cards. Now the poison comes in 4 different colors: purple, blue, green, and red. And you can see it's also colorblind friendly, so even if you can't tell the difference in colors, the shapes behind them are also unique, so that's really good. The poison drops come in 1s, 2s, and 3s. So how you play the game is at the beginning of the game, all 10 of these cards are shuffled up and dealt face up to each player. So let's just pretend like we shuffled these and we're dealing them out. Now, all the cards are shuffled and dealt, so there might not be an even distribution of weasels and rats. That's fine, because it just happens sometimes. So, there could be 3 rats and 2 weasels, not a big deal. Because again, this game is all about diplomacy. These are the kings. There's either the weasel king or the rat king. These get shuffled up, and then one of them gets dealt out to the center, and that's the king for that round. The game takes place over a number of rounds. A round is over whenever all but one person is dead, or everybody is dead, or the king is dead. Anytime somebody dies, generally you're going to assess some points. The rulebook tells you to get a piece of paper and a pencil. I like to use some cubes just to keep track of points. Whenever somebody gets to 10 points at the end of that round, then if you had 10 or more points, you win. If multiple people had 10 or more points, whoever scored the most points in that final round is the winner. And if you each tie, then everybody wins. So how do you score points? So at the beginning of a round, we deal out all these rolls, so everybody knows what everybody is. And then you also get 2 poison cards per person. So you can keep these secret. And then once everybody gets 2 poison cards, then starting with the start player, and whoever the start player is, they stay the start player for that entire round. Once a round is complete, the start player will move to the next person in clockwise order and around the table. If the start player were to die, you would just go to the next person to be the start player for the round. So, I have 2 cards in my hand. On your turn, you only get 1 turn, basically, and you can choose to play 1 or as many poison cards as you have in your hand on 1 target. So you can choose to play them to the king or play them to any one of the other peasants. Now, how scoring works is if you are the rat and you are and if you kill the weasel king, the opposing team's king, that would score you 3 points. If you were a rat and the rat king was out and you killed the rat king, you would score 2 points. And if you're a rat and you kill a weasel, that scores you 1 point. Now, if you're a rat and you killed off another rat, let's say because there are 3 rats on the table, so maybe 2 rats are conspiring to kill another rat just so that this rat's out of the game and we don't have to share points with him, that's perfectly fine. A rat can kill another rat, that's okay, but you score 0 points for doing that. So, you can play 1 or 2, or as many cards as you have, poison cards. You can even play them on yourself, which is important when you have the Antidotes expansion. But you can play them wherever you like, so I just can't split my cards. They have to all go to 1 target. So let's just say I play both of them there. everybody then gets a chance to play cards. So this player can play some cards. Let's say they play one here, and they keep one of their cards. This player plays 2 cards there. This player plays, let's say, a card onto the king, and this player maybe plays 1 card to the king and keeps 1 back. You should always remember where you played your cards, because it's important to assess points for the round. This starting player, also I should mention, I forgot to mention, is kind of cute. The starting player is whoever was the last person to have someone taste food for them, which goes with the poison theme. We're playing a 5-player game. In a 5-player game, depending on how many players you have, different amounts of poison are required to kill the king. In every game, though, no matter what the player count, it's always 3 drops of a poison of 1 color to kill any of the players. And I'm sorry, the drops of poison to kill the king also have to be the same color as well. So it's a little bit easier to explain once you just show it off. So this player played these 2 drops of poison, these 2 cards of poison. This player played that. This player played that. This person got this much poison on them. And this person played that. Okay, so first we see if anybody died. This person didn't have any poison. This person didn't have any poison. This person didn't have any poison. This person had 2 drops of poison played on them. But they need to be the only way they die is if they had the same color and at least 3 drops of it. So 1 purple drop, 1 blue drop doesn't do anything to this player. If the person doesn't die, that poison stays with them. But in future rounds, let's say if in another round somebody played this and this, and then 3 drops of poison have been assessed to this person, the people who played this don't score any points. Whoever kills the person that round using the correct poison type then scores points for it. So right now we assessed this. So this is a 5-player game. So in a 3 to 4 player game, it takes 5 drops of any poison type to kill the king. In a 5-player game, it takes 6 drops. 6-player game, it takes 7 drops. And in a 7 to 8-player game, it takes 8 drops to kill the king. So we're playing a 5-player game, which means it takes 1 more than the amount of people, so it takes 6 drops. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of poison, of green poison. So the king is not dead, which means that the round continues. Anybody who was killed, which it doesn't look like anybody was killed, gets to stay in the round. And everybody who stays in the round gets an additional 2 poison cards that they get to add to their hand. So if in a previous round you hadn't spent all of your poison, you get to keep it, and then in your future rounds now, you can choose between playing 1, 2, or all 3 of your poison cards on a location, on a peasant or a king. So all this is assessed. Again, it doesn't matter who played what in the previous rounds. It does matter how much poison is on the king or any of the peasants, and then you play another round. So if the king were to die, even if somebody played more poison than was necessary, so this person only needs 1 more, the king only needs 1 more drop of green poison. So let's say this player plays 1 drop of green poison, and let's say everybody else winds up playing blue poison on them, and there's enough poison types to kill him in 2 different ways. Everybody would score points for killing him if there's enough poison types to kill him. So if there's 6 drops of green poison and 6 drops of blue poison, everybody who played blue and green that round would score points. If you managed to play blue and green to the king, and you basically killed him with 2 different poisons, it doesn't matter. You only score once. Anybody that was killed in previous rounds obviously does not get to play in future rounds. But if you were killed in the round that you played poison, you still score points. So let's just say this person played 3 blue, and find another blue. Of course, no. Okay, and then that person played another blue. So then 6 blue killed this king. Even though this rat died, they still score points because they played poison in the round that the person they played poison on died. So just keep that in mind. You still score points even if you're dead. So once the king is dead, we wrap up all the cards, shuffle them all back up in the poison pile. And then we also take all of the peasants, shuffle them back up. Sorry about the break. So we shuffle up all the peasants, and then we again deal out rolls to all the players. So you might be a rat one round and then a weasel the next round. Your buddy might be on the same team as you or not. Alliances change and shift all the time, which is really great about the game. Also, we shuffle up the kings, deal one to the center, and then start anew. Getting 2 drops of poison cards going forward. And that's pretty much it. Again, at the end of a round, if somebody has 10 or more points, they are the winner. If multiple people have 10 or more points, then whoever earned the most points that round would be the winner. If multiple people earn the most points that round, then it's a tie, and you both share the victory. And then once you've played that a bunch, you can add in the antidotes, which are cool. All right, that's all. Hope you have a good day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks.